Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into the mind of a legendary 17th century swordsman to figure out how to conquer our own, very modern, emotional challenges. You're going to find out how some ancient warrior wisdom can give you a serious edge in the battles you face every single day. But first, let's just start with a question that, we all have to face. Who's really in charge here? Is it you, or is it your automatic reactions to stress, to anger, to anxiety? Come on. When you feel that surge of frustration or that wave of worry, are you the one guiding it, or does it end up guiding you?
Our guide on this whole journey is MIYAMOTO Musashi. We're talking about a Japanese swordsman whose undefeated record, well, it wasn't just because he was an incredible fighter. His real, true power came from this extraordinary emotional discipline.
See, Musashi got it. He understood that the real duel, the most important one, is internal. It's the one that's fought inside your own mind long before you ever take any action. And his strategies for winning that inner battle, they are just as powerful and just as relevant today as they were 400 years ago.
Okay, so let's dive into this toolkit for emotional mastery. First, we'll uncover the warrior's secret weapon. Then we'll learn how to see the world clearly, master our actions and our minds, and then finally, we'll walk the path to mastery together.
All right, first up, let's get one thing straight and really understand Musashi's core insight about emotions. Because this is a fundamental mindset shift that, honestly, it changes everything.
Anger, fear, anxiety, they aren't the enemy. The real defeat happens when you surrender your choices and your actions to them. Musashi's secret weapon wasn't some lack of emotion, it was mastery over it. Big difference.
So our first principle is all about perception. Why? Because this is the root of almost all of our emotional turbulence. The way we see the world literally determines how we feel about it.
What Musashi is teaching us here is a critical skill. You have to separate what you actually see from the stories you immediately start telling yourself about it. He trained himself to just observe an opponent without letting fear or overconfidence cloud his judgment.
And check this out. This shows that gap perfectly. The gap between an objective event and our emotional story. The event itself, a car cutting you off, it's neutral. It just happened. But the story we attach, that driver is a disrespectful jerk, that's what actually generates the anger. This whole idea of separating fact from your interpretation, it's the cornerstone of modern therapies. And creating that little pause, that's the first step to taking back control.
Okay, so now let's see how this builds into mastering our actions. And this involves two really powerful principles: building the right habits and, just as important, letting go of the wrong attachments.
Musashi didn't just sit around and wait for inspiration to strike. No way! He built systems of daily practice that made his emotional control an automatic, totally ingrained habit. He knew that the battle with himself was the single most important one to win, every single day.
And you can do the exact same thing. Just identify one trigger, maybe it's getting frustrated in meetings. Then create a tiny daily habit, something like practicing 3 deep breaths before you speak. The key isn't some massive effort you do once. It's the small, consistent effort every day. That's how you actually retrain your brain.
He also teaches this ruthless efficiency of the mind. Basically, stop wasting your precious energy on things you absolutely cannot control. I mean, think about it. Most of our emotional suffering comes from being attached to outcomes we simply can't guarantee.
This illustrates it perfectly. It shows you exactly where to put your focus. You can control your preparation, your effort, and how you respond. You can't control the final outcome, or the interviewer's mood, or the stock market. So invest your energy where it actually truly matters.
So now we turn inward. We're getting to the final 2 principles for mastering the mind itself. And this is all about emotional flexibility and the incredible power of pure focus.
Emotional mastery is not about becoming a robot. Not at all. It's about developing what a lot of psychologists now call emotional agility. It's like becoming an artist with a full palette of emotions and knowing exactly which color serves you and when. It's about choosing your response, not just reacting with whatever feeling pops up first.
So instead of judging an emotion as good or bad, just ask yourself a really simple question. Is this useful right now? Sometimes, anger is exactly the right tool to defend a boundary. Other times, it's just destructive noise. The master knows the difference.
Musashi absolutely knew that a mind scattered across past regrets and future worries, well, that's a vulnerable mind. It's a mind that can't be controlled because it's not even here.
This mental time travel is the source of so much unnecessary stress, which is why ancient practices like his and modern ones like mindfulness, they all point to the very same solution. You gotta anchor yourself in the present.
So the big question, how do we bring all of these principles together? Well, here is the complete toolkit for your daily practice.
Look, this isn't just philosophy. These are practical skills. See clearly by pausing to separate what happened from your story about it. Train daily by building one small, consistent habit. Detach from outcomes you can't control. Maintain balance by asking if an emotion is useful. And be present by committing your full attention to whatever you're doing. That is the path.
And please, remember this. The goal isn't to achieve some state of emotionless perfection. The goal is just continuous improvement. It's a daily practice of winning that little victory over the you of yesterday.
And ultimately, Musashi's final lesson is just one of profound empowerment. The tools, the strength, the capacity for control, it's not out there somewhere you have to go find. You already have everything you need to begin. It's all within.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you face an emotional challenge, a moment of frustration, a flash of anxiety, which one of these principles will you use to win your inner duel?